What is up, YouTube family? We're back with another subscriber first wholesale deal interview. I'm just going to get straight to it. Jeff, how much is your first wholesale deal?
$10,000.
How much is your second one?
4,000.
How much is your third one?
6,000.
Your fourth?
7,000.
Your fifth?
10,000.
Your sixth?
20,000.
Your seventh?
12,000.
And your eighth?
15,000.
And Jeff, how old are you, bro?
25 years old.
Boom! Oh, man. Damn, bro. So, and Jeff, for those that, so you're based out of Canada, right?
Yeah.
Nice. And so now, do you wholesale all in Canada, or do you also do some in the US?
So here's the thing. I've done all my deals in Canada. I have also tried to do it in the States. I had one property locked up in Alabama, but I wasn't able to move it. So I've done all my deals in Canada, but I do want to expand to the States. I think there's a big market, and the fact that you guys can get leads out there, that's huge for sure.
Awesome, man. So, dude, Jeff, we're just going to get straight into this. So for those, obviously, if you want to share a little bit about your background, how you discover wholesaling, how you got into it, and obviously, and then we can talk about your first wholesale deal that you made for 10 G's, right? For
sure. Yeah, of course. Well, I just want to start by saying, Con, I'm a big fan of you, man. You've dropped so much value, so much information. I'm just grateful even just be in this call with you. So I just want to start by saying thank you for all the knowledge and the tips and advice that you give to people. Yeah, you have no idea how much lives you're changing. So I just want to start by saying that.
Bro, I want to say right back to you. Thank you so much for the love and for the support. But I appreciate it, bro. Let's go.
Awesome. Yeah. So for those that don't know, I'm originally from Colombia. We came to Canada when I was about 9 or 10 years old, and grew up with single mom. Very, very hard times growing up. Even in here, right? And then I came out of high school, went into college, did insurance. So I became an insurance broker. So I did a lot of calling through the phone. I've done kind of similar to wholesaling, but just with insurances. I'm still an insurance broker right now. And then, I knew there was another way. There had to be another way to make money. There had to be something else. So I started I started looking into wholesaling, went into the YouTube, Google, everything. And then everything that I seen was based out of the States, right? All American wholesalers. I came across your channel. I just started watching all the videos. I listened to all the Spotify, all the episodes, and I got so many nuggets within all episodes. Every episode, I learned a little bit more. And in here, we actually don't have access to lists like you guys have in the States. So in here, what works a lot is direct marketing, right? So like letters, campaigns. There's things called like Kijiji, Facebook, where you can go and find for sale by owners, similar to Craigslist that you guys have in the States. So I just started doing everything, right? I know that if I just start talking to homeowners, I'd get more comfortable with the process, get more comfortable with everything. So the first deal that we did, my first deal was actually back in October. We did a bird dog. So I did a marketing campaign. Can you hear me? Okay. So we did a marketing campaign. I got one deal out of that. It was more of a bird dog kind of deal. Made $5,000 on that, and at that time I knew that it was true. Like I've seen it, I seen the money in my account. I'm like, this shit is real. Like I'm, you know what I mean? It's possible. So then it took me a while to get my second deal. During that process, what I did was I actually ended up hiring a mentor, because I know that you can try to do it on your own, or you can just hire somebody who's already been there. So I hired a mentor. Ever since I got that mentor, that's when things just started escalating, right? He taught me what I was supposed to be doing, what I was doing wrong, some of the legal things in the contract that were supposed to be there, and like honestly, ever since I got the mentor, that's when things just started speeding up, and that's when all the deals started coming in. So a lot of people that reach out to me, I tell them, hire a mentor. Like that's the best thing you can do, is hire a mentor. Invest money into yourself. And I'm so happy that I did that, because ever since then the deal just started flowing. We have a team, and sometimes within our team we move the deals. So sometimes we'll have a buyer within our team, we'll move it to them. So it's just a lot easier to move the inventory. And yeah, I'm just ready to scale this up and just make something out of it. And I'm about to buy a duplex actually at the end of this month with the money that I made from wholesaling. So
nice,
it's honestly changed my life. And again, just so grateful for you, Khan, and all the knowledge and all the content that you've provided. I'm just so grateful to be in this call with you.
Bro, dude, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for the kind word, man. And Jeff, just like you, man, when I first started too, and I think everyone learned differently. When I first started too, man, I watch a bunch of YouTube, right? I go on YouTube, I watch it, I try to learn. And that route just didn't work for me. I'm more kind of a hands-on, like I need someone to like, and same thing, man. I end up hiring a mentor, and I flew him out. And within 3 days, he showed me everything, all of that, dude. And then I start, just like you, man, I start to get deals coming in on my pipeline. And, for some of you, you don't need a mentor. For some of you, maybe you go on YouTube and you're able to watch the video and you're able to do it. But, for Jeff and I, we just need a mentor. But I agree with you 100%, man. A mentor really helps you take it, make things speed up a little bit, but you still got to put in a massive amount of work.
100%. And with my mentor, like wholesaling is one aspect of it, but now he's actually teaching me the flipping, the burr, rental
Nice.
property. Like there's a whole other aspect of it, right? So again, for anybody who's in Canada who might be looking for a mentor, I can definitely recommend me and like the guy that's mentoring me and my experience with him, because it's been phenomenal. I'm super grateful to have done that. It was a lot of money. To I'm not gonna lie to you, but I've made that in 6-7 different times, like the money that I spent. So definitely recommend that.
Good for you, bro. Good for you. Okay, now Jeff, let's talk about your first wholesale deal. How do you found it, dude?
Yeah. So in Canada, like I said, we have a lot of Facebook and Kijiji. So in Facebook, you can actually find for sale by owners. So there's actually homeowners that go in there and they'll put their properties out. So I pretty much reached out to a guy who had a property out there. I said, hey, I'm an investor in the area. I'm very interested in the property. Kind of got to some more talking, and I found that it's really about the why. If you can figure out their why, then you can kind of work backwards around that, right? So his why was that he was getting a divorce with his wife, and they pretty much had just bought the property like 2-3 months ago, but they were going their separate ways. He was going back. I think he was from India, so he was going back to India. And I said, listen, I'm really interested. So I got the comparables around the area, kind of got an understanding of what the property was selling in the area for. I went and met up with him. He was about an hour away from where I live.
Wait, Jeff, so did I just hear this right, bro? You did a wholesale deal with East Indian?
Yeah.
Bro, dude. Bro, you're at the top of the chart, bro. Because I'm telling you, man, Asian, and a lot of you are gonna call me racist or whatever it is. I'm not, right? I love all races, man, but I gotta say how it is, man. Asian are sure, dude. I've never done a deal with Asian, right? Every lead that comes in that's Asian, I just don't even call. I just throw it away.
Yeah.
Indian, hail to the no. But good for you, bro. Okay.
Yeah, he was a younger guy,
Okay.
and like he was planning to flip it, but with COVID and everything, like it actually was more than he was expecting for the rentals and whatnot. So I was able to go in there. I went and met up with him, and then the same day before I met up with him, I seen what the comparables were, and I talked to my mentor. He's like, just lock it up, and we'll figure everything else after. So I sent him the DocuSign. First time for me filling out all that, so I filled out the contract. I sent it to him. I said, hey, listen, I don't want to waste my time and go look at the property. I actually kind of know what we can do with it. I like it. I'll take it. And then we ended up doing the DocuSign. He was a little hesitant, but I was able to push him through it, and he signed the document. Nice. And then I went to go see the property after.
Nice. Okay, so now what's the ARV on the property?
So the ARV is around 500 to 550.
Wait, okay, so let's just say 500K, and
how
much you got to lock up in the contract for?
So we had it on the contract for 340.
Hold on a second. So 340, and what was his asking price since he had it listed?
So he had it on I believe it was Facebook, and he had it listed for around 365, 370. So okay. I was able to negotiate a little bit and bring the price down.
Gotcha. Okay, and how much is the rehab?
So the rehab on it, so this is the thing about it, it's a single family, but it actually is zone R2. So you can actually make it a duplex. Okay. The rehab was maybe 50 to 60K.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So let's just say 50K on the rehab. All right. So, okay. So once you got the contract signed, and how much was your earnest money with the seller?
$100.
$100. Dude, so you took $100 and turned it into 10 G's.
Yeah.
Good for you, man. Okay. All right. Now, how do you find the buyer, Jeff?
Yeah. So, like I'm sure, like just like the States, we have a lot of groups here in Canada where there are wholesale deals, there are off-market deals, JV deals. So I just went in a group and I just started posting the deal. I created a buyer's package and I just blasted it out. I put it in the Facebook Marketplace. I had a lot of people reach out to me. Even like a couple months ago, I saw people reaching out to me about it, but obviously it was sold. And then talked to a few people. I talked to a few buyers, give them the numbers, give them all the information. And then this buyer was actually a realtor, but he's also an investor. There's a lot of here, like where I live, there's a lot of realtors that are also investors. He looked at the numbers. He said, I'll take it. And then I told him that I was going to do sight unseen offers first. And then if nothing fell through, then I would actually have a walkthrough. He said, no problem. I'll take it off your hands, sight unseen. And he just bought it sight unseen. So he didn't even look at the property.
Wow, bro. Okay. So you got under contract for 340. So you put it out to the buyer for 350?
Yeah.
Gotcha. So how long did it take you to find a buyer?
3 days, maybe.
Dang.
Like, yeah, not long at all.
Nice, bro. So the buyer pretty much say, hey, I'm gonna buy sight unseen.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much it.
That was pretty much it. Yeah, this one was a little bit unique because everything was done outside. So he actually paid me my assignment fee out before closing. So he usually for deposits, when I get buyers for the deposits, I usually make them pay like a pretty big deposit so they can have some skin in the game. Sure. He actually paid me the deposit, which is actually also my assignment fee. He actually paid me $10,000 just like cash outside, like I locked it up with him, and then I went like maybe a day or the next day I went over and he gave me the money cash and he's like, I'll just take it off your hands so you can, helps with taxes and whatnot. So I was like, this is crazy. This is insane. Like,
wow, bro. That buyer is I like that buyer.
I love him. I love that. We're definitely planning to do more business together. And now I know what he's looking for. I know where he's buying. So now I'm just hunting more deals, and I'm definitely wanting to do more deals with him in the future because I like those transactions.
Yeah, nice. So basically you just assign the contract over to him. So since you already got the money, you basically assign it over to him for what, $0, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Gotcha. So you just assign to him and he give you the 10G cash and he just move forward to closing.
You got it. And then he's seen the property now, but like he just bought it sight unseen. He just looked at the pictures, looked at the comparables. He was like, I'll take it off your hands. And I was like, wow, this is this is great.
Yeah, you're like, hey, nice, dude. Jeff, congrats on your first deal, man. That's awesome, dude. So now after you close your first deal, and a lot of people are stuck right when they close their first deal, how can they get the second one, the third one, and etc.? What do you do after your first one was done?
Yeah, so I mean, just to go backwards a little bit. So the first deal that we did was the marketing campaign. It was a bird dog, right? So that was the first deal we did.
Okay, hold on. So Jeff, let's talk about explain bird dog a little bit for those that don't understand.
For sure. So pretty much this property, I had a couple buyers already. I talked to a few investors, joined some groups, and then a lot of buyers, are looking for wholesale deals where I live, right? In Hamilton. Hamilton is where I live. Hamilton, Ontario is where I live. And then I already had a buyer lined up and everything. And I did a marketing campaign. So I did, send out the flyers and all that. And then I had a potential deal. Like, they called me, they said they were looking to sell, blah, blah, blah. And then I talked to the buyer directly and he was like, listen, just give me the number of the person's, the person's phone number. And when we close on it, we'll give you $5,000. So pretty much I didn't get the contract I didn't get the property on the contract. I didn't do anything. I just connected the seller and the buyer. And then I told the seller that was my partner and they closed the deal. And yeah, that's how that works. So we don't lock it up or anything. You just simply connect the seller and the buyer, and then you make the difference in between. You don't actually lock it up or do any of that or negotiate.
Nice. So for those of you who's watching this, if you don't understand what bird dogging is, so basically you can be a bird dog as a teen. You don't need license. Basically, there's really no risk beside, you putting up your time, finding rundown property or distressed property, whatever you want to say it, or, and then once you find a rundown house, you just take the address. In this case, Jeff, I guess he spent a little bit of money on marketing and then actually have them call you, and then he can just forward the phone number and the address over to the buyer, and they do the rest of the work. So typically, as a bird dog, you just get the property address, you find rundown houses, and you take the address or the phone number, whatever you want, you send it over to a buyer. All right. And then they do the rest of the work. They negotiate, they lock it on the contract, they sell the deal, everything. And then they'll get you paid. And in this case, typically, you know, as a bird dog, they pay you, you know, when I first started, which is 10 years ago, they'll pay you between 500 to $1,000 for every lead that you send them. But in this case, Jeff made 5 G's instead. So it was
a pretty sweet deal. Like I talked to the buyer, he's a realtor, he's an investor. And I talked to him recently, and he told me that it needs a lot of rentals. So it's a big house, right? And what they're going to do is they're going to add 7 units. I already had the blueprints to add 7 units, and he got an appraiser and all that. And he said once the properties, they're putting about 150 to 200,000 into it. They bought it at 500, but once it's fixed up, it's worth, I believe he told me around 1.3, 1.4 million. So it's a pretty nice deal. They'll be able to do a full bird with it. Pretty sure.
Wow. So, okay. So it's a 1.3, and how much did he got it for?
So, 500,000.
Dang, bro. Dang. He got a killer deal.
Yeah, because they already had the blueprints to add additional units and make it, I believe it's going to be a triplex or a fourplex. Yeah. And those here where I live are like very expensive. They're very up there.
So on that first deal, if you really know how, like, if you know what you know now, you probably would have made a nice chunk on that one.
Oh, yeah. 100%. Yeah. I just didn't know what I didn't know. Like at that time, I didn't have a mentor. I was just trying it out. But yeah, for sure.
Nice. Well, Jeff, congrats, man. Okay. So let's roughly talk. What do you do after that 10,000, bro?
Yeah. So after that 10,000, I knew that I found a deal there. So I just kept looking through Facebook. Keep looking through all these tools that we have here. And then, I just kept talking to sellers. Trying to get the reason why they're looking to sell and work backwards, right? Like, a lot of times it's not so much even about the money. It's about what's the reason that you're looking to sell and how can we accommodate it to that, right? And then, I just kept going online and then just kept hunting deals like that all the time. And then actually some people actually reached out to me and they're like, hey, can you help me sell my house? Because I'm pretty big on like Instagram and Facebook. I go live when I'm at these properties and I'm always posting stories and stuff. So I've attracted a lot of both buyers and also sellers some reason.
Oh, wow.
So I had a seller reach out to me and they're like, hey, can you, I know that you know what you're going to do with the wholesale. Can you help me sell my house? It was a duplex and they were asking for $350. And I was like, yeah, of course, I can definitely help you sell it. Ended up moving it within my network, within my group of, with my mentor and whatnot. Ended up making $6,000 on it. So like people are reaching out to me to sell their properties, which is very rare.
Wow. So, okay. So Jeff, on social media, you're having seller reach out to you knowing that you are a wholesaler and they agreed to allow you to help them out.
Yeah, because they try to put it out on like social media, but they just didn't have the network or the people. So I go out there, I put a nice buyer's package, I add pictures, and I have a pretty big network in Facebook and all that.
Right.
And then I just put it out there, and like I had a buyer within a week or so, and then we just assigned it over to him, and he closed. It was a turnkey duplex, so it's pretty good.
Gotcha. But the thing is, Jeff, I mean, you're still the seller's reaching out to you, but you still lock the property up on the contract, right?
Yeah, you got it, 100%.
Okay. So for those of you who's watching this, I want you to understand, because you don't want, like, wholesaling, you don't want to cross the line where it becomes illegal, where you're going to get in trouble. You're not a realtor, okay? You're not a realtor. You cannot market the property, okay? So for you to wholesale, you need to lock it up on the contract, because once it's under contract, which means you have equitable interest, okay? Which means you can either move forward to buy the property, or you can assign the contract over to another buyer. You're not marketing the property. You market your contract.
You got it.
Right? So don't get that wrong. So don't go up to people without a realtor license and say, hey, let me help you sell your property. All right? That's illegal. Okay.
For sure, 100%. Yeah, we had it under contract, and then that's when I moved it. 100%.
Nice, man. Okay, so now, Jeff, with that 10,000, man, do you do any kind of marketing, or were you just looking in for sell by owner?
So I didn't do anything with that 10,000 just because like I said, I am an insurance broker. So I had some income coming in from there, and I actually used that money to market. So I did another marketing campaign so I'm in Hamilton in the Niagara region. You probably heard of the Niagara, right? Niagara. Yeah. So I did a marketing campaign out there, had a lot of calls. And I actually ended up, one of the other deals that I did was from the marketing campaign. I spent about $2,000 maybe on the letters and sending it out and whatnot. And the deal that I did was $12,000. So
woo. So nice, bro. So $10,000 profit.
Yeah.
Good for you, bro. So anyways, I mean, that story's pretty much kind of it right there, you guys. So Jeff, for those that are starting out, man, knowing what you know today, what kind of tips, feedback would you give to the viewer?
Yeah, 100%. So I would say first, listen in all your podcasts and look at all your videos, because you drop so much knowledge and so much valuable content. Honestly, like from the bottom of my heart, I really do thank you, because I just used to listen to your videos while I was working out, while I was listening, I was just listening, and I learned so much through that. So again, just dropping so much value. So thank you for that. And I would say that's the first thing. Second thing is, I would say, is get a mentor. Getting a mentor can just speed your process so much faster, and like so many different strategies that you can learn, so many different techniques, so many different little things that can be worth your while. I would say to anybody, get a mentor if you can. I went into a little bit of debt to get a mentor. I used my line of credit, whatever I had to do. And I just wish I would have done it earlier. Like, that's the only thing I regret. I wish I would have done it earlier. So that's what I would say. Keep at it. Like, I used to go door knocking. I did everything just to get a deal. I did everything in my power. I did door knocking. I used to call in the States. I called in the States. I grab a list and I just started calling everybody, like 100 calls per day. So like I did a lot to get to here, but I would say just keep at it and don't give up. Like, don't compare yourself to other people that might be doing, X amount of deals. Just stay focused on yourself and don't compare yourself to other people, because you might get discouraged, right?
Well, Jeff pretty much said it all. I love it, bro. I love it, man. So now, Jeff, how can people connect with you, bro?
Yeah, so I'm really big on Instagram and on Facebook. So my Instagram name is Jeff.Ortiz, ORTIZ _V for Victor A.
Okay. So just Instagram, right?
Yeah, Instagram and Facebook. And Facebook are I just have my my company's name in there, which is Ortiz Property Solutions.
Okay.
That's our Facebook name, and you can hit me up on Facebook or that. But I do want to start getting more on YouTube and TikTok. So definitely seeing your progress and your success. So that's definitely where I'm going to be heading next.
Good, man. So you guys, Jeff, can you make sure that you email me all of your link to it, dude? And then I can put in on the descriptions. Now, for those of you, the biggest problem with people that have business that I see, for everyone that have a business or you have a JOB, the biggest problem is all you got is one stream of income. I remember when I started wholesaling, besides rental property, but rental property, you got to understand, it's a long-term game. It only gives you little drips, right? Which means, if you buy a duplex, unless you pay all cash, where I'm at, it's a 1% rule. So each unit, you only make about, $250 per door. If you get lucky, maybe $500 per door. All right. And that's include doing the full BRRRR strategies. So rental property is a long-term game. So only give you little tiny drips to get to the point where you can get 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 a month in cash flow, like positive cash flow. That takes a long time, and you need a lot of cash coming in, right, to either pay down the property or own a lot of property. So that's my problem. When I first, started knowing wholesaling too, is I depend on just one stream of income, right? And a lot of you are, maybe you own your own business or you have a JOB, but that's your first problem. So here's what I did. Once I mastered how to wholesale, then obviously I was working only 2 hours a day. And I think at that time I was making like 6-figure a month, probably 100, maybe 150,000 a month. And I was only working 2 hours a day, and I got, system and team in place. And I said, man, what else should I do? Right. And then I heard Gary Vee talks about personal brand. And I jumped into personal brand, and it opened up, and the personal brand helps me to make another 5 streams of income.
Wow.
So for those of you who's watching this, if you have a JOB, the next thing you need to do is pick up a side hustle. All right. Once your side hustle make more than your JOB, then you quit your JOB, you go all in, and then you take that side hustle, you turn into a business. The difference between a hustler and a business owner is that a hustler, you're doing everything yourself. You're hustling every day. Business owner know how to put team and system in place so they can scale up. Okay. Because so, and then the next thing is what you want to do is once you have mastered your skills, whether you're day trading, real estates, Amazon, FBA, whatever it is, or maybe you're in stocks. Once you have mastered the skill, right? Maybe you're making 10 G's a month, 20 G's a month, 30 G's a month. The next thing you need to do is you need to brand that business. Now, the next thing you want to do is majority of you, 99% of people make this mistake. And this is why they will never grow their personal brand to like the peak. Is once they get a 5,000 followers, 10,000 followers, guess what they do? Not even that. Most people that's in the personal brand space couldn't even get to 10,000 followers. Maybe like 2,000 followers or 5,000 followers. Guess what they start doing? And this is the mistake that you don't want to make, because this is going to hurt your personal brand and it's going to hurt your long-term gain. Is they start monetizing their audience like crazy. Everything becomes a pitch, right? So they give out a little bit of information. They say, hey, go to my webinar. Hey, DM me this. And then guess what? And then they start pitching. Like almost every other video, they start pitching. And that's the biggest mistake. And it will hurt your personal brand so bad. And I learned this, bro, all from Gary V.
Gary
Okay?
V.
And dude, that's why I'm able to grow my TikTok to we're at 2.6 million.
Wow.
Right? To 200,000 on Instagram, right? The reason why is because if you go to my Instagram and you go to my TikTok, I barely make a single pitch. And guess how much and I'm being transparent with you guys. And guess how much I'm making on my personal brand? 165 G's. I barely pitch.
That's crazy.
165 G's a month. And I barely pitch. If I were to pitch, dude, Jeff, if I were to pitch just one time or twice a month, I know I can make 250 G's a month. Easy.
Wow.
But the reason why I don't, because I don't want to play the short-term game. I want to get to 5 to 10 million followers. At that time, people will probably pay me, you know, I want to get to a different level. So, and then those of you who's watching this, if you're into growing your personal brand and maybe you have a course or service or whatever, or products that you want to sell, there's nothing wrong with selling your knowledge, right? Because there are people out there that don't want to go to the store, don't want to buy the ingredients. They don't want to cook the food themselves because they don't want to waste that time. Maybe they don't have that time to waste. They rather pick up the phone, call the restaurant, place the order, and have them make the food for them. And that's where the course, the service, and the products comes in. Because there are people just like you and I, Jeff. There's all the information that you ever need is free on YouTube. But for us, even though we watch all of that, we still need a mentor. For some of you, you watch all the information, but you couldn't execute because maybe you need a course that give you a guidance one by one, right? And there are people that watch YouTube channel and are able to execute and make the money. And a lot of people make a mistake. Well, what if I give all the information and they don't buy my course? You're wrong. Because there is no secrets. Everything that you know, there's already people sharing all that information out. It's just people are not willing to take the time or spend the time, right, to watch my 900 video or whoever else they follow. It's just too much for them. So they rather, hey, I don't want to waste that time. I'd rather just pay and get the information, even though all the information is out there. So don't think that you're like, hey, I have a secret that I can't share. No, share your secrets. That's how you grow your followers. It's by being unique, and it's by sharing things that they couldn't find from other people, or maybe rarely anyone would share. Like I share everything now. Okay.
Yeah, that's great. That's actually one of my questions that I had written down here, because now, you know, that I've had some success, I have a lot of people reaching out to me, and I share as much as I possibly can. But for me, sometimes it's a little bit hard because I know that I invested into a mentor. So for me to give everything away, it seems a little bit tough, right? So that's actually what I was going to ask you about. Like,
good, man.
How do you?
So Jeff, I pay over $100,000 in mentorship. Over $100,000. Everything that I learned today, dude, I pay my way to get there. I pay $25,000 to go to a mastermind every year.
Wow.
I pay my mentor. I pay my connections to my banker. So when I first started out with real estate, I started out fix and flip, and I took the vice president of the bank to a trip in Mexico, paid for him and his wife, because I'm buying my way into the circle.
Yes.
So for me, man, and then now when you can give all that back and expect nothing back from your viewer, your audience, that is when you win, bro. Because like I said, there will people be watching your content, but don't want to spend the time, and they will rather go buy the course or the products or get you to mentor. You should think your goal is not to sell, but your goal is to grow so big that the people that follow you slide into your DM and say, hey, Jeff, do you have a course? Hey, Jeff, do you mentor? That is what you want. It's not pick up a video and say, hey, if you guys want to learn more, go check out my course. That is the wrong way to do it. And that's why, dude. And that's why you see all the people, if you don't believe me, the people that you watch that pitch you all the time, maybe they'll do a 3-minute video and they're like, hey, go to the link below and go to my webinar. If you watch those people, I promise you, if you check their followers, they're not big. 50,000 followers big? No. 100,000 followers is big? No. If they have millions of followers, that is big. And I'm telling you, majority of the people that you follow couldn't even get 10,000 because they're not willing to give it all out. So to win the personal game space, you must give it all out. Because I know one day, dude, I can sell. Because the goal is to build such a big brand that one day you can sell for millions. Like I'm talking about, 10, 20, 30, even 100 millions, dude. That is the goal.
I see. So you got to provide value.
Yeah, correct, bro. And those that are playing the short-term game, hey, I'm going to get the 500 today. I'm going to get 1,000 today. That is the short-term game. They'll never win long-term, bro. So that is my tip to you. Don't start monetizing, just start growing. And here's my last one to you, bro. My last one to you is the one that you want to pay the most attention is TikTok. TikTok is the one you want to pay most attention. 80% of your content should be on TikTok. 10% should be on YouTube and Instagram. So 10% for YouTube, 10% for Instagram. Because you can take the content from Instagram or TikTok and then repurpose it over to the rest. But if I were you, 80% on there, once you grow your TikTok account, everything else should grow. Anyways, that's all I got for you today, bro. But hey, Jeff, I want to say, dude, thank you so much for the love, for the support, and everything that you have provided, man. I really appreciate it. Those of you who's watching this, if you're in Canada, if you want to follow Jeff, his link is right below. And listen, knowledge without execution is worthless. A lot of you, what you're doing is you're educating, but you're not executing because you're afraid that you're going to make a mistake. Let me leave you with this. The biggest mistake that you can ever make is one, not to make a move. Because when you don't make a move, how do you know if it's the wrong or the right move? If you make a move and it's the wrong move, at least you know, hey, it's the wrong move and you can adjust and keep going. And let me tell you something. Success is always under construction. It's never a straight line. It's always up and down, up and down, and up and down like this, okay? You just have to adjust and figure your way out as you go, but you need to make a move. Most of you are just soaking up the information, but you're not executing. Results come from action, not from knowledge, not from just educating. Anyways, thank you so much, you guys, so much for watching. For those of you who's watching, I hope this video adds some value to you. If it does, show my guests and myself some love. Boom, smash that thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the Wholesale to Million family. But until next time, take care. Jeff, thank you so much, bro.
Thank you, Carl. Appreciate it.
Yep, thank you.